So this week we are talking skincare, face massage, injectables, intuition, how the skincare and wellness industry has changed, supplements, motherhood, all of it with Nichola Joss. Now, if you are a regular listener of the Face Yoga Expert podcast, or you've been following us on YouTube since we've been here, then you will know Nichola. Nichola has been on the podcast quite a few times now, I think around 3 times. We've done lots of Instagram lives together. We did a lot during COVID, during lockdown, and there's so much of what we do which crosses over. And Nichola, for the last 25 years, has been a renowned facialist. She is facialist to the celebs. She's currently in Harrods doing her amazing facial. She has a supplement brand, and she is really a leader in the skincare and facial industry. So I love having her on because not only does she chat about so many things which I align with, but she also brings her perspective, particularly from working in clinic with clients all the time, her observations on the skincare industry, how it's changed, how it's changing. So it's always such an informative chat. I know you're going to absolutely love it. So I want to just dive straight into this week's episode with Nichola Joss. Nichola, a warm welcome back to this week's episode of the Face Yoga Expert podcast. And you're here again, I think, for the 3rd time?
I think so. It feels like we've done it many times. And also every time I come on, I feel like it's the first time, because we've always got so much to talk about, I think. And it's just always fun spending time with you. And although we do it frequently, I feel like we don't do enough sometimes.
You're so right. We're busy, and we've also done Instagram lives together. And I was thinking this morning, I feel like over the years, maybe 6, 7 years, we've been chatting, doing stuff together, but we've never met in real life. How crazy is that?
We've never met in real life, and I feel like we've met many times in real life. And you have to check yourself. It's like, no, actually, we haven't been. Like, I've never physically touched your hands, but we know each other quite well, I think, because we resonate on a lot of the same thing. Like, our beliefs are quite similar, and we kind of think the same way, and we have a lot of the same values. So I guess you just get to know someone on that way. And how fortunate we are to have this kind of medium to be able to connect on as well.
We are so lucky. And when we actually, I know we've done other things between them, but when you actually came on the podcast, it was 3 years ago. So for anyone that remembers you coming 3 years ago, maybe we'll start with just a summary of the last 3 years. If there's any key moments you want to share with us, or anything that you feel that's changed for you, either personally or professionally, I know that my audience would love to hear.
Oh, thank you. I mean, oh gosh, 3 years. Bit shocked, but also not, because I feel like time's getting faster. Actually discussed that with my kids, but that might be another topic. I think the last 3 years, let's see, I've developed a supplement product, which we can chat about. I'm studying naturopathic medicine, so that's been really helpful with regards to developing a supplement product. I've moved clinic, so I now have a clinic in Harrods on the 5th floor in central London, which is wonderful to be able to connect with all my London clients again, because obviously I'd shut down my Harley Street clinic and I'd closed my New York clinic when we went through that whole period of pandemic, and then went into the Mandarin Oriental. Very nice of them to allow me to have space in there, but I kind of just needed a little bit more. So Harrods was a really nice fit for me. And also I've got my brand on the shelf in Harrods. So that's been really nice. And I think everything's pretty much the same as it was 3 years ago. I'm still doing lots of clients. My clinic in Kent is really busy. I still have my global retreats that I do in Italy and Bahrain, and we're always looking at other ventures. But I think what's consumed me properly is, in the last few years, is my supplement brand, because it took a lot of work, took a lot of research, took a lot of finding the right paths and kind of discovering where we were supposed to be going and who we were supposed to be talking to. So that took a long time, but we finally managed to launch something, and subsequently formulating other products to come on to to kind of enhance the supplements that we've got, and other supplement drops that are coming as well. So that's been really interesting. I've also had one of my kids graduated from university and he's off traveling. So there's kind of been a little bit of a loss as well. That empty nest. Both my boys are now not at home, which is quite tragic, but quite gloriously lovely as well, because they're doing their thing. So just a shift and a change, I think. And when you have children and they're growing up, there's that constant shift in how you manage them and how you educate them and how you kind of maneuver what they're wanting to do in their life as well. So always new and always learning with kids, I think.
We are, absolutely. And we were talking about this a little bit off camera as well, about the whole transition of that and the different stages, because my girls are 9 and nearly 13 and yours are older now. And I mean, there's so much I want to dive into about what you've just talked about, but maybe we'll just start off with your supplement brand. So maybe you could just introduce it to everybody. Let us know what it is and the benefits of using it.
Okay, so I think what happened is when we went through that pandemic and I was studying naturopathic medicine just to add another bolt onto my offering, and predominantly because I come from that biology science world, but I was seeing patients and clients coming in that were not feeling great, or their immune systems were ravaged, or whatever, many, many symptoms, but not pinpointing illnesses. So I just stumbled across hops, actually. Living in Kent, hops is obviously the Kentish plant and renowned for beer brewing because of the bitters and the flavourings of hops. And my friend and now business partner grew up in Kent, and she was like, oh my God, you've got hops in your garden. I used to go foraging with my grandmother for hops. And then she started this whole dialogue of the benefits, the healing benefits of hops. So I'm digging into my research and my studies, and there's not that much about hops. Anyway, long story shortened, because it is a very long story, we kind of found the right scientists and professors and people that are extracting compounds from hops for healing benefits, but no one's really doing anything. There is a compound in hop called xanthocumol, which is like liquid gold. It's the biggest anti-inflammatory of the plant world. It's the biggest antioxidant. So it's really delivering a lot for the body. It's an adaptogen and a nootropic. So it does many things depending on how you mix other hop extracts from the plant. So we eventually got there, did our clinicals, did our trials, worked with some great local teams, a local professor who lectured at King's. And he was the guy that actually found the phytoestrogen element of the compound in the hops plant in the 80s. So we kind of serendipitously managed to get the right people around us. And I'm a researcher, so you dig and dig and dig until there's nowhere left to go. And I was just amazed consistently by the benefits of hops. So we formulated tinctures. So my belief is always sublingual is the best way for the body to absorb and deliver what's needed. It's also a blood cleanser, xanthocumol. So we branded 2 formulas. The brand itself is called Apothecary, which is obviously hops and apothecary, made up word, but we felt it was right because we're going to offer many things. And the first pillar from the brand is Hops Drops. So we've got Hops Drops Day and Hops Drops Night already formulated and on the shelves in Harrods. We have our own website and I'm selling through the clinics, and we're finding we're getting really good results back. So our clients that are customers that are buying it are rebuying it and rebuying it because they're getting results. So the day one is really about inflammation. So it immediately reduces inflammation in the body. And it works on the gut as well, but it's not like a probiotic because it's an adaptogen. It allows and triggers the gut to focus on producing the right bacteria that your body needs. It's also nootropic, so it works on clarity, removing brain fog, and giving you that nice focus as well. The other element of it is it works on skin cells, so it improves skin cells. And I've always had the same belief system that skincare is phenomenal, but it's topical. And really, the best way to create better skin is to do it internally. So the better your internal system is, the better your gut works, the food that you eat, how you behave, what your lifestyle is like will dictate how your skin is. And obviously stress levels are really important when it comes to skin as well, and how the emotional body and the physical body and the spiritual body connect together. And a lot of that is what we put into our system. So if you start at that point, you're going to create better skin if that's what you're looking at doing. So the Hops Drops Day helps to do that as well. It has a real mass like I said, the anti-inflammatory, but also antioxidant benefits. And then we have our night offering, which hops are renowned for making you sleepy and calm and relaxed. And we have a lot of history as well as science on the benefits of it. And that's all on our website. So please, if you're interested, go and have a look. We'll share the website at the end. But then the Hops Drops Night will give you calmness and balance. So if you have high stress levels, it will reduce the cortisol, reduce the stress levels, and just give you that nice balance in the body. It helps you sleep deeper. It helps to reset the circadian rhythm, because if you take it 20 minutes before bed, it's starting to work on your system so that you're moving into that bedtime ritual, whether it's putting something on to listen to, or spraying the room with a nice, or your bed with a spray, but getting into that ritual and then taking your Hops Drops, the physical body starts to settle down. If you wake up at night, it helps you to get back to sleep as well. So it's a really nice offering, the sleep one. It's non-drowsy. Hops are really, really beneficial in keeping you calm. So also if you struggle from stress, you can take the night one and it will help to lower your stress throughout the day. But we are working on other formulations. We're working on one called Peace, which is specifically for stress, anxiety, and it's also helping with ADHD as well. We've got lots of clinicals that we're working on that. And then we're doing another one, which is coming out quite soon, probably spring next year, called Love. And it's the harnessing the phytoestrogen element of the hops. So it's really good for endometriosis, perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal. It also helps a little bit with fertility as well. And our whole focus on that menopause journey is to embrace it as a transition for women and not to fear it, because it's not an illness or a disease. So it's about slightly re-educating women to understand that it's a really natural process the body has to go through, but you may need to adjust what you're doing in your lifestyle, how you're eating, and take the supplements that are relevant to help the body to transition through that menopausal process, and really just understand that you've gone from one part of womanhood to that matriarchal part of womanhood, where you're that, not an elder as such, but a woman that's transitioned through many aspects in the physical body, and what a joy to be able to do that. So we've got those, and then we've already developed a facial oil and a body oil, and the body oil is really focusing on inflammation, so it's an anti-inflammatory oil, and the facial oil is just the most beautiful offering that I've ever managed to develop. I'm a huge fan of obviously facial massage and facial oils, and it's just something that, because it's antimicrobial, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, as well as harnessing moisture in the skin and locking that in and working on those deeper levels of the skin, you just get that gorgeous glow, but you get that balance in the skin with the pH levels. So you're helping to reduce any problematic issues in the skin topically, as well as taking your Hops Drop supplements. So we're kind of trying to look at the whole narrative around inner and outer beauty, to be able to just encapsulate what you want to do to improve your skin, if that's the only thing you're looking at. But if not, then certainly the health benefits of it too. So that was a long chat about
amazing.
That's kind of where we're at with it, and it's really exciting. And I think what the most exciting thing about it is one, I haven't just developed a skincare range, which everyone has been asking me to do for 100 years, and I think I didn't feel authentic in just throwing a skincare range out there. And I've always believed and always spoken about using the many, many different skincare offerings that are on the market already, and picking the right products from many different beauty houses to deliver a bespoke prescription for my client. And it would have to be something so special and unique for me to harness it into a skincare offering that I thought, let's start with internal, because that's what I believe in and that's where I see results. And also, I find that the supplement market or the vitamin market is so flooded, and actually, people are maybe taking too many or the wrong combination of supplements and vitamins because there's so much noise out there and everyone wants to harness this wellness. And why wouldn't you? But sometimes, again, it's about pairing it right back and understanding that your body is so beautifully and perfectly designed in whichever way that you come onto this earth. It's designed to work for you. And it just needs a little bit of encouragement at times, or a little bit of adjusting. So often less is more, but with that understanding that your body is not broken, and it's not a machine that you can just swap out parts with or fix with medication. And I'm not anti-medication at all. I think it's there for a very essential reason and should be used when it's specifically needed. But historically, remembering that when you didn't feel well, you first of all went to your naturopath or your homeopath, and you looked at plant medicine or tinctures or something that the earth grew in order to help make you better. And then obviously you would step into other medications if need be, depending on what's wrong with you. So that's kind of where we sit.
It's amazing. You should be so proud of yourself, and I know you are. And I can tell you're so passionate about it, and I can tell that now is the right time for you for it, which sort of loops back to my initial question, but also pulls out a lot of what you just talked about. How do you think the skincare and the wellness industry has changed over the last 3 years? So compared to when we talked 3 years ago, obviously you can say this in relation to you launching your brand or just what you're observing either in clinic or what people are asking for or what you're observing more globally. I'd love to just know your thoughts around that. I know it's a huge question, but it's so intriguing.
Yeah, it is a huge question, but actually it's a really important question. And I think it's the right question for now,
Mhm.
because since we last talked, in the last 3 years, it feels like the beauty and wellness industry has escalated by 10 years in 3 years. There's so many more offerings. And I think part of the issue is, first of all, wellness is a massive money making industry, and biohacking, which is this, in vogue aspect of wellness at the minute, is huge. And also, injectables and injections and fat loss and all that things. And not that I have a positive or negative opinion on any of it really, but for myself, I think it always comes back to the same thing, that you have to remember that the human body is still the human body. And again, I hark back to what I just said earlier. We are designed perfectly to heal ourselves with help, but minimal help, or understanding that our body is so amazing. The wellness industry is just blown up. And, I think it's good, really good that it has, because I think it spotlights health and how to look after ourselves better. The issue I have is it's like a kid going into the biggest candy shop or sweet shop and not knowing what to pick because everything looks so delicious and everything has like the best flavors or textures to it. And it's hard to break that down and know who to trust and what products to really go to. And because of how our social media platforms are placed now and how much time everyone spends using those platforms, whether it be for news or entertainment or giggles or me or whatever, it's it's constantly being driven to us, and we're all guilty of it. I've done it myself. In fact, my assistant went through my bank account statement the other day because she was doing my accounts and went, Nick, at 4:32 the other morning, you made a purchase to something now.
4:32.
4:32 in the morning. 4:32 in the morning. Now, albeit I did get up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I was traveling. So I can't justify
Okay, fair
that
enough.
being on my screen at 4:32 in the morning. Perhaps sometimes other occasions I would wake up, but I tend not to. But I can't justify it. But my point really with this is that we click to purchase very quickly because something looks good and someone is very versed in selling or marketing something to us, and you buy it, and you buy it because it's so easy, and then it comes and you have so much expectation on this product and actually it's not right for you. And I think this is where we tend to have, what we have to do is look back to our experts, look back to those that have the qualifications and the knowledge and the experience, and God bless those people that are sitting pushing products and they're in their 20s, and that's great, but question how much knowledge and experience these people actually have. And I'm not negating that at all. I think it's great. I think every aspect of our platforms are wonderful, but just step back slightly and go, okay, what is it that I actually need? And if I don't know what I need to go to someone that does know what I need, or at least can put me in the right direction. So I feel that it's kind of mind-blowing, the wellness industry at the moment. Will it level off and streamline? Possibly, probably, but who knows the way and the shift of how our society goes with regards to things like that. It's really good, but also it's overwhelming for people that have no idea. I'm not a massive fan of a let's say multivitamin or multi-ingredient product, because you can't put so many different ingredients in to tick every single box and expect that to work on everyone. So I think there's a danger there of people taking too many products. I have a client who overused supplements and ended up with diverticulitis. So there are health aspects to it as well. Just because, gorgeous Barbara, who is 70 years old and looks 50, is taking X, Y, and Z, doesn't mean that that's right for you. And then obviously the biohacking aspect is everyone thinks that's so wonderful, and a lot of it is, but actually it's just another let's short term this, or let's quick fix something. And again, it's about understanding how the body works and the time that the body needs to replenish and recreate itself. And that should be taken into account when you're looking at what you're putting into your body and why you're doing it, because we all want quick fixes, but quick fixes don't always work either. And again, I'm not negating biohacking. It's great. It's kind of this new, it's not new now, but it's kind of this, it is a new format. And it's because our culture is leading towards that quick fix for everything.
Yeah, we really are. We talked about this, interesting enough, 3 years ago, about how things were polarizing within the beauty industry. So how the injectables and the surgery and all of that was going up and up and up, but also the need and the want and the desire for something more natural and holistic was increasing as well. And actually, I think it's interesting because I think over the last 3 years, both those industries are still going up and up and up. But I actually think they're going further and further apart as well. I think there used to be more of a grey area in the middle, but it's almost like the extremes are happening both ends now, which I find incredibly intriguing. I mean, I'm all for particularly women having choice over their own bodies, choice over their own skin. But I find it really interesting to almost sit back and watch what's happening. I've been in this industry 20 years. I know you've been longer than 20 years. So actually seeing how things are changing, not even just 3 years, but in 20 years is fascinating to me. And I'm wondering what's actually going to happen, whether it's going to get more and more extreme both ways, or whether we're going to go back to more of that sort of middle neutral ground. What do you think?
Yeah, it's really interesting because I'm also very much the same opinion. I'm a great observer, and I tend to not vocalize things a lot. I tend to sit back and watch what's going on. I'll have my opinions and I'll share them with people I think it's worth sharing with, but I'm never quick to jump on anything and have that left, right, black, white, whatever opinion, like the polar opposite opinions. And you're right. It seems that, but I don't think it's just beauty and wellness. I feel
Oh, it's
like it's every
everything. It's
aspect of
everything.
society is having this polarization. There's no, there's very little gray area left. And but here's the thing, is that a truth or not? Or is it a social media platform truth? And actually, when you step into the real world and you're surrounding yourself with people on a daily basis, whether it's going to the coffee shop in your local village or town or your community, and just sharing space and natural time with people, I think there is a grey area. I think the majority of people sit in that grey area. I think it's when we step into the screen world that the extremes happen, because you can shout loud and hide behind a screen. So I do believe both aspects are true. Um, and I don't know, as an observer, I don't know if it will come back to that middle ground or if it will continue to it almost feels like there's two worlds that are just like fighting for separation. And then I'm like, okay, that's a little bit woo-woo, Nicola. Like, stop there, just behave. But it sometimes feels like that. There's just like this it's thinning, that glue of how we behave is thinning and snapping out into two very different worlds. And if that's the case, then that's great, because you either sit in one or sit in the other, and you'll sit in the one that you have a belief system in, or you're comfortable in. Um, when we spoke before, you're right. It was escalating then, things like injectables and surgery and whatever. But you're right, it's escalated even more, And I think it's dangerous in the way that it's really, for women and men, are we not allowed to get old anymore? And there
I
is
know.
nothing about age that it seems to be positive. Or, when you look at
Yes.
that, and
Yes.
that terrifies me, because really, we're all here on the planet for the first time. We just happen to have been here slightly longer, but we're all doing this for the first time. And you blink your eyes, really, and you blink your eyes and you're 10 years older or 20 years older, and you go, okay, how did that happen? Okay, fair enough. I've had all these days here and all these years here, and that's phenomenal. But my brain hasn't aged hugely, really, in my thought process. And it changes, doesn't it? You learn and you experience things, and you do become more of a person, I think, because of the experience and knowledge and just being here. But please allow us to age and have that beauty and respect for it, because with age comes lines and wrinkles and experience and knowledge and more love. And shouldn't that just be loved, and not trying? Why are we fixing something again as natural? And I think the other aspect of it is also, like, it does so many things, does it? It's not great for our younger people, because are they not allowed to age, and it's not a good thing. It's not great for our older people, because what, they're ashamed because they don't look 20 or 30 years younger than they should look, or like a celebrity looks, or an icon, or someone that's famous. And then the other aspect is, if we're not aging, okay, so we're all going to leave this planet as well. And actually, if we focus on what's more important, like community and humans and caring and kindness and looking after our planet and just having like that wonderful peaceful life. And it's not about not making money, or producing good things or building great economies or great architecture and advancing like that, but can we just also understand that whether you try to stop looking older, you're still going to we're still going to die. And to focus so much time on the aesthetic, I feel, is such a waste of our time on this planet.
It absolutely is. And like you say, we can forget what really matters, that love, that kindness, that community. But also, I think we can lose sight of individuality. I think that's being lost massively. I think we can lose sight of longevity as well. Actually, choices that we're making, maybe even early on. I mean, we didn't really even have that choice in our 20s that people in their 20s have now. You know, are we going to use this weight loss drug? Are we going to use this injectable in our lips? Whatever it might be. But the choices that younger, particularly women, have now, you know, often that idea of longevity and, like you say, that celebrating aging is not there. And it's completely nobody's fault, because actually it's what we're fed from the media and from social media. But I think my hope, you know, even if both industries, the more sort of invasive industry and the more sort of wellness, holistic industry, are still increasing all the time, my hope is that we can just come back to that caring, community, love, kindness, individuality, longevity, celebrating wisdom, and intuition. Because I think actually, with all the noise that we're all exposed to, and even when we're in the industry and we didn't grow up with social media, we know how to separate ourselves from that. Actually, all we've got to make decisions on is our intuition. And, you know, I'm often asked, you know, why I don't go down a more sort of invasive route, injectable route, you know, particularly getting now to my mid 40s. And actually, you know, partially because of what I do, and I know that these techniques work, yes. But actually, what it comes down to is my intuition. My intuition just tells me that's not right for you, Danielle. And it's simple as that. It's not even about looking at the risks or the science or worrying what people think of me or having an opinion either way on the aging process. It's just my intuition says, Danielle, no. Simple as that. And actually, intuition, I think, counts for more than any of us probably even realise.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I pretty much agree with you on that. And it's probably how I live my life most of the time. And I think intuition is undervalued. And I think, but I also think intuition is not used. It's almost ignored, I think. And I think the main reason for that is because people's lives are so busy and they're so, our eyes and our brain are so invaded by visuals all the time. I mean, and again, I'm not poo-pooing this. It's an observation. I sit on the train for an hour to go to London, okay? And I'm the only person not looking at a screen. I'm the only person. And I can sit for an hour and stare at the same people for an hour, and none of them have looked up. Now, I'm not poo-pooing that. I'm making an observation. And I think the thing with that is they're flooding their brains constantly with noise. And it's very hard for intuition to surface because there's very little time to sit in silence. And even new things, like there's new apps, isn't there, all the time, like sleep apps and sleep noise and meditation music and blah blah blah, and all this is great, but you need silence in order for your body to speak to you. And intuition is your body speaking to you. If you take the ego and the chattery mind and step aside, there's your intuition. So I think you're right. People, we need to listen to our bodies more and allow for intuition. And it's no, again, I'm not, you know, there's no complaint. It's just, and no judgment on people. But I think because we're so overexposed to noise and opinion and judgment and, you know, one side versus another side, and this is the only right way, and that's the only right way. There's confusion also created in that void space in the middle. And intuition, it's hard for it to break through because your intuition should be strong, but intuition very quickly, because it's your inner self, becomes quiet. So it's about pulling it back up as well, isn't it? And allowing it to speak. And I do live my life that way, but I am also very aware that sometimes I don't use my intuition if I've been around noisy spaces. And I don't mean human beings, I mean platforms and staring at Instagram because I've maybe put up a couple of posts and then I go back to see it. Has anyone looked at my post? And then I'm like, I've got to catch myself and go, what are you doing? Like, you're not putting it out there for that. You're putting it out there because you're giving people information or you're showing them something that you think is great, that works. Yes. I don't know. I'm hoping for that grey area to become the normal area, but let's see.
Let's see. And it's interesting. What are you observing in clinic? What is the maybe the main concerns that women I know in particular come into your clinic, but men also, but women that come into your clinic are asking you about in terms of their skin, in terms of their face, in terms of the aging process? I'm interested to know what the sort of main themes are that you're observing at the moment.
I mean, it has not. Has it changed? There's one aspect of it changed. So my clients still come in and will say, "Okay, I think I'm going to go and have Botox. I think I'm going to go and have fillers. And I'm like, okay. Do you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it because you're here and we're looking at your face. Well, I think it's because I have this tiny little line here, or I'm frowning, and actually, a lot of it is just so there's a lot of ask, should I have it? Should I have it? Now, that has changed slightly because they would previously, and maybe 5 years ago, my clients would be coming in going, I've had Botox. So this is, I want you to know I had this then, and this is what's happening. I've had filler. That's shifting. So a lot of them are having it less or stopping, or perhaps trying other injectable facials, coming back and going, oh, it was great for like a week, and then my skin went right back to how it was. So I've got to keep having it. So there's been a slightly different education and the new offerings that are coming through, which is interesting. But I think it's the should I have it? And I'm like, okay, well, you at the end of the day have to decide, but I'm going to tell you the pros and the cons of that. But I'm also going to show you how to massage your face and do exercises so that you can help the structure and the contours of your face. And also it's going to make you feel better because you're doing a bit of massage. And so it's that. And I know I say this all the time, I've been saying it for 25 years, but it works. Yeah. And I'm not going to change how I speak about massage and facial exercises and face yoga because it works. And I think we reap the. I'm 58 years old, and I
didn't realise you were 58, Nichola.
Yeah, I'm 58. Yeah, I don't say that.
I thought you were late 40s.
Well, thank you very much for that. I used to be ashamed of telling people my age because I felt old in an industry that was very young. But that's the truth of it. That's what I am. And I'm happy with that in that age. Don't get me wrong. I get up and I look in the mirror and I go, oh, who are you? But actually,
you're great, Nichola.
Well, really, do you know, great. I sit down and I'll go, right, I'm just going to do 20 minutes of massage because I know I can improve this. Yeah. And it's just because I've slept badly, or I'm tired, or I've eaten something I shouldn't eat and I'm a bit puffy, right? But I think I'm a good advocate for someone that's aging. And not that I want anyone to go, oh my God, look at you, I want to be you. But for me to go, okay, this is what I look like at 58, and this is what I've done. So I can impart that information to you, and I can teach you how to do that. So there's been a change, a shift with, instead of people coming and going, and everyone having it, it's like, what do you think? The other issue that's slightly more concerning is my clients coming in being on fat loss injections. And again, I'm not going to judge the fat loss injection industry, and I'm not going to really have an opinion on what I think it does. But I am going to say to you that my clients that are coming in with massive fat loss on their face, muscle atrophy, big sunken areas around their eyes, and it is predominantly because of those injections. And I guess whether you want to go down that route or not, again, is something that solely should be between you and your practitioner and whoever's giving you advice on that. But I am seeing a big shift. And the thing is, I've had then quite a few clients go, should I have filler to fill this back up? And it's about educating them so they understand what filler is going to do in that aspect. But actually, let's start at home by really getting a great skincare routine in, doing facial yoga and exercises, massaging the face to start stimulating the blood flow, start plumping up, start addressing the muscle, because it's muscle atrophy. So you have to start looking at increasing the muscle so that you have a better muscle that's going to work better for you. It's going to hold everything like scaffolding in position for your face. So that's changed in the last 3 years from the last time we spoke. And to me, it's a little bit concerning, but we're in quite young stages with regards to people, what you're seeing at the end of weight loss or fat loss injection, the journey there. So let's see. I feel like it's going to really balance and level out, and things are going to get better in that way, as everything does when you put a new drug on the market. Apart from that, I think everything's pretty much the same. I mean, it's just, there's always going to be more products on the market. Are there key ingredients that are going to do miracles? Probably not, but certainly technology is getting better, so skincare is improving as well. But we're still human beings. Our physical bodies are still very much the same.
Yeah, completely agree. And as final question, if you were to give one bit of advice to everyone just to look and feel the best version of themselves, what would that be?
Oh gosh, I think it's about sitting with yourself and having that deep conversation on why you're unhappy with how you look, and because there's always something deeper. And it's very easy for us to blame how we look on our unhappiness, but because we're unhappy, we tend to not look as good as we should, because everything in our brain is expressed in our face. So take some time, just take time for yourself. Understand that we're here for such a short time, such a short time. And the joy should be in those that are around you, that you love. And the joy should be in looking at our communities and how they really get together, and not looking at not listening to the noise of the divides on every aspect of our society, but actually just going down the high street or the village or wherever it is that you live in, hanging out with community and just seeing how people really are together, spending a bit of time, have a bath. If you do one thing a day for yourself, one thing a day, have a bath. If that's what you're going to do, you fit in for your day, have a bath. If you're going to massage your hands with a hand cream, because that's the only thing you've got to do, that, but do one thing a day for yourself. Oil your hair the night, before you go to bed, so that you're going to wake up with lustrous hair after you wash it next. Just something, but be kind to yourself. And I've said this forever. Someone interviewed me about 25 years ago and said, what can you impart? And I'm like, be kind. And she went, what? Be kind. I said, be kind. Yeah. Like, be kind to yourself and be kind to others, and take a breath before you, don't jump into things. Just take a breath. That's it. It's simple. You can make it simple, and just have joy with your body, in every stage of it, in the young stage and the young, bouncy, athletic, I've got loads of life stage, but also as we start to age, that kind of slow down and understand that your body just needs a little bit more time. But I'm just a huge believer in being good to yourself. Massage your face. Just go and massage your face every day. Honestly, it does so many things. It calms the brain. It calms and regulates the emotional body. It helps you breathe better. It makes your skin look better. That physical touch just it remembers that you're human.
It does. Nichola, thank you so much. Can you let everyone know where they can find out about your beautiful new supplement brand, and where they can find out more about you and the amazing tips that you share?
Oh, thank you. Yes. So my website is nicolajoss.com. You'll find everything on there, from booking to see me, an online booking consultation if you want. I have a shop page with many different links for shop. Apothecary.co.uk is the main website for my supplement brand. You can also buy it on my website. I think that's it. My Instagram is Nichola Joss. Apothecary Hops Drops has its own little Instagram as well. Please follow and share. It's such a lovely brand. And if you've got any questions, anyone, about the Apothecary Hops Drop supplement, I am more than happy to answer those.
Thank you. We'll put it all in the show notes as well, so people can just click straight through. Nichola, it's always a joy chatting to you, and let's not make it 3 years next time. Let's do it sooner.
Yes, please. I actually, I really I miss you because we did in that lockdown period. We were chatting a lot as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But we're busy. So yeah, let's get back together again soon. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Nichola. Take care.